Buckle up, friends. Whether you're driving, chilling, or winding down, this story will grip you. In a Miami courtroom, a kid faced a system ready to crush him and fought back with fire. This is the flame that shook the court. Let's go. The Miami-Dade courthouse crackled with tension, the air thick with judgment. Spectators packed the gallery, their whispers like a coiled spring. At the defendant's table stood Kader Jackson, 18, Afro-Caribbean braid tucked tight, eyes burning with defiance. Charged with vehicle theft and evading arrest, he was a target before he spoke. Judge Elnor Ramsey sneered down, her voice dripping scorn.
Think you're a lawyer, Mr. Jackson? This isn't a game.
The room laughed. Prosecutor, bailiff, crowd, all in on the joke. But Kadir didn't blink. Raised on his mom's courtroom stories, he'd studied law while others slept. To Ramsey, he was just a kid. To him, this was war. And he had a secret that would burn the case to ashes. The courtroom hadn't caught Kadir's spark yet, but it was coming. Prosecutor Vincent Delgado rose, his tailored suit gleaming under the fluorescent lights. His voice oozed confidence.
Your Honor, the state will prove beyond doubt that Kadir Jackson was caught red-handed in a stolen 2023 BMW X5 reported missing just hours earlier. Officers chased him through Miami's streets where he tried to flee. His fingerprints were on the steering wheel. The evidence speaks for itself.
The words landed like a gavel. The gallery shifted, whispering. A woman hissed. Always the same kids. On the surface, it was airtight. A stolen car, a chase, fingerprints. Ramsey glanced at Kadir, then back to Delgado.
Go on.
Delgado strutted toward the jury, shoes clicking.
The defense may claim a mix-up that Mr. Jackson's a victim.
He locked eyes with Kadir.
But what kind of victim runs from police?
The tension thickened. Ramsey rested her chin on her hand, bored. Kadir stayed still, his mind racing. He drifted back to a humid evening a decade ago, 8 years old, sitting on his apartment's cracked linoleum floor. His mom, Lorna, a court clerk, spread case files across the table.
To Kadir,
She'd said, her voice weary but fierce.
the system's a beast. It eats kids like you unless you learn its tricks.
She'd quizzed him on legal terms, probable cause, burden of proof, turning it into a game. By 10, he was reading her law books, vowing to outsmart the beast one day. Lore. That vow wasn't just for him. In the gallery, 12-year-old Jamal, a wiry kid from Kadir's Liberty City Youth Center, watched with clenched fists. Kadir had taught Jamal to read, to dream beyond the block's graffiti and sirens. "You're a king," Kadir would say, ruffling his hair. Now, Jamal's eyes begged Kadir to win, not just for himself, but for every kid in their neighborhood who'd been profiled, dismissed, or forgotten. Delgado flipped through papers.
Your Honor, I present the testimony of Officer Carlos Mendoza, who saw the defendant driving before he fled. The car was confirmed stolen. The arrest was clean.
Sounds clear to me.
Ramsey nodded. For most, it was a done deal. But Kadir saw the cracks. Flimsy testimony. Rushed assumptions. Liberty City had taught him the police weren't always the heroes, and his mom's stories had shown him how to fight back. Ramsey tapped her gavel.
Let's hear the defense.
Sarah Nguyen, Kadir's public defender, stood nervously.
The Honor, my client.
Kadir touched her arm, a silent signal. She sat. He spoke, voice steady.
I'll represent myself, Your Honor.
The room froze. Ramsey smirked.
You'll what?
Kadir didn't waver.
I'm defending myself.
Murmurs erupted. Delgado's grin faltered, then sharpened.
Did with me fun.
But as Kadir stepped forward, hands in his pockets, the air shifted. Jamal whispered.
Show them, Kadir.
The kid's faith was a weight heavier than any charge, and Kadir wasn't about to let him down. Kadir let the silence stretch, making the room squirm. Then he spoke.
Your Honor, I'd like to clarify something with the prosecution.
Delgado crossed his arms, amused.
Go ahead.
Kadir stepped forward.
You said Officer Mendoza saw me driving before the arrest, right?
That's right. In his report.
Kadir nodded, turning to Ramsey.
Your Honor, I move to dismiss that testimony.
Ramsey squinted.
On what ground?
Kadir's voice was calm, but sharp.
Because Officer Mendoza wasn't on duty during the chase. He couldn't have seen me.
Delgado's face twitched. Kadir pressed on.
I'd like to request Mendoza's GPS logs from that night. If his report's true, they'll match. But I'm betting they won't.
The gallery buzzed. Ramsey frowned, glancing at Delgado.
Counselor?
Delgado cleared his throat, jaw tight. Kadir shrugged.
They report from a sworn officer. Are we taking a defendant's word over that? If Mendoza was there, the GPS will prove it. If not...
He let it hang. Ramsey studied him, then turned to Delgado.
Any issue with verifying the logs?
Delgado hesitated, a beat too long. The jury noticed. The gallery noticed. Jamal's grin widened. Ramsey sighed.
No objections, Counselor?
Delgado shook his head, stiff.
None, Your Honor.
The laughter was gone. Delgado shuffled his papers, his polish cracking.
Your Honor, while we wait for the logs, the defendant's fingerprints were on the steering wheel.
Kadir nodded, unfazed.
True. Let's talk about that.
He turned to the jury, eyes locking with each juror.
The prosecution says my fingerprints mean I stole the car. But let's think. You try on a shirt at a store, touch the buttons, put it back. Someone steals it later. Are you the thief because your prints are on it?
Ijora blinked. Someone in the gallery whispered. Kadir kept going.
And that BMW was parked outside a bodega hours before the theft. I was there with friends buying snacks for the youth center. I leaned against the car, touched the handle. It was unlocked. Dumb move? Maybe. Criminal? No. Does touching something make you a thief?
His voice cut through the room. Delgado scrambled, flipping notes. Kadir didn't pause.
And about those fingerprints. Your Honor, was the forensic tech who processed them called to testify?
Ramsey blinked, caught off guard. Delgado stammered. Kadir's lips pressed tight.
No, so the state's using evidence to convict me, but I can't question the person who handled it? No chain of custody, no cross-examination?
Ramsey rubbed her temple, the case slipping from her control. Outside, a protester's chant drifted through the windows. No justice, no peace. Kadir's mind flashed to his mom's words. Fight with truth, Kadir. He wasn't just dismantling a case. He was dismantling a system. Kadir took a breath.
Your Honor, I'd like to call a witness. Mrs. Rosa Alvarez, the bodega cashier.
Ramsey raised an eyebrow.
Proceed.
Mrs. Alvarez, a stout woman with gray-streaked hair, took the stand, her hands trembling. Kadir softened his voice.
Mrs. Alvarez, tell the court what you saw that night.
Her voice was firm.
Kadir was in my store, buying snacks for the kids he mentors. I saw him touch the car outside, but he didn't drive it. I told the police, but they ignored me.
The gallery gasped. Delgado objected, but Ramsey waved him off, her eyes on Kadir. Kadir wasn't done.
Your Honor, I'd like to call another witness, Mr. Jamir Lopez, a bystander near the bodega.
Lopez, a nervous delivery driver, took the stand. Kadir's questions were precise.
Mr. Lopez, you told police you saw someone else near the car that night, correct?
Lopez nodded.
A guy in a red cap, not Kadir. I tried to tell the cops, but they didn't care.
The room stirred, Delgado's face paling. Nadir pressed forward.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit a statement from the car's owner, Marcus Ellison.
Ramsey frowned.
The owner?
Kadir nodded.
Yes, Mr. Ellison told police something the prosecution buried.
He pulled a transcript from his file, reading aloud.
I left my car running outside the gas station. Someone jumped in and took off. But it wasn't the kid you arrested. I saw the thief. He didn't look like him.
A collective gasp rippled through the courtroom. Kadir held up the paper.
This is from the original police report, ignored by the prosecution.
He turned to Delgado, whose face was flushed.
You knew about this, didn't you?
Delgado snapped.
Your Honor, this is irrelevant. The defendant was linked to the vehicle.
Kadir shook his head.
I wasn't. I was arrested blocks away, walking home with friends. I wasn't in the car, wasn't near it. The only link is a bad assumption.
Ramsey exhaled, her control fraying. Kadir turned to the jury.
The real thief got away. The police saw a black kid nearby and decided that was enough. That's what this case is.
The gallery stirred, some nodding, others whispering. Jamal clenched his fists, whispering.
Get them, Kadir.
Kadir called another witness, Officer Lena Carter, a rookie who'd been at the scene. She shifted nervously on the stand. Kadir's voice was steady.
Officer Carter, you wrote in your initial report that you saw another suspect running from the car, correct?
Carter hesitated, glancing at Delgado.
Yes, but my supervisor told me to focus on you.
The room erupted. Ramsey banged her gavel, but the truth was out. Kadir faced the jury, his voice soft but piercing.
I coach kids in my neighborhood. I tell them they're more than what this world thinks. I'm here to prove it. For them, for my mom, for every kid like me.
Jamel's eyes glistened, his hero standing tall. Ramsey leaned forward, her voice sharp.
Anything further, counselor?
Delgado, flustered, muttered.
No, Your Honor.
She looked at Kadir, then the jury.
Case dismissed.
Chaos broke out. The gallery cheered, Jamal jumping up, shouting, "Yes!" Reporters scribbled. Ramsey gripped her gavel, her face unreadable, part shock, part respect. Kadir stood still, letting the moment sink in. Outside, the Miami sun blazed. Protesters chanted, holding signs, "Free Kadir!" Reporters swarmed, cameras flashing. "Kadir, how'd you outsmart the system?" He ignored them, spotting his mom, Lorna, by the steps. Her eyes were wet, but she smirked.
You were gonna give me a heart attack, boy.
Kadir grinned.
Had to fight, Ma.
She hugged him tight, whispering, "You made us proud." Across the street, Ramsey watched from her car, her usual arrogance gone. She'd seen cases like this before. Quick convictions, no questions. But Kadir had forced her to look closer. He'd forced everyone to. That evening, Kadir stood at the Liberty City Youth Center, the room packed with kids, parents, and neighbors. Jamal ran up, hugging him. "You did it!" Kadir knelt, smiling.
We did it, little king. You're next.
Guard buzzed. Mrs. Alvarez wiping tears, an elder nodding proudly, a banner proclaiming, "Kadir's victory, our victory." Kadir took the mic, his voice steady.
This wasn't just about me. It's about us, our neighborhood, our dreams. The system wants us to stay small. but we're bigger than that.
He paused, looking at Jamal.
I see lawyers, doctors, leaders in this room. I'm going to law school, and I'm taking you with me.
The crowd roared, Jamal beaming. A neighbor, Mr. Torres, stepped forward, his voice thick. Kadir, you showed him what Liberty City's made of. We're with you. Mrs. Alvarez added, You're our son, always. Kadir's throat tightened, but he smiled. This was his family, his fight, his fire. Later, under the center's flickering lights, Kadir sat with Jamal, sketching out plans.
Law school's just the start. We'll build something, maybe a legal clinic, right here.
Jamal grinned.
For kids like us?
Exactly.
Kadir didn't just win a case. He ignited a fire for his community. For every kid told they don't belong. One voice can shake a system. What's yours gonna do? This story's for everyone fighting to be seen. How many Kadirs are out there, silenced by a system that doesn't listen? Kadir showed us truth can cut through lies, but only if someone's brave enough to speak it. He's heading to law school, but his real work's already started, lifting up those kids, showing them they're enough. Think about Liberty City, about every community pushed to the margins. Kadir's fight wasn't just one night. It was every day he told Jamal he was enough. Every night he studied his mom's law books. The system's not broken. It's built this way. But Kadir proved we can rebuild it, one truth at a time. His victory wasn't just a dismissed case. It was a promise to every kid watching, every parent hoping, every community rising. Change starts with one spark, but it grows when we fan the flames together. If Kadir's story hit you, let's keep this fire alive. Drop a comment. What's a time you had to stand up? Hit that follow button, share this story, and join us in telling tales that spark change. Together we're building a space where every voice matters. For the Kadirs, the Jamals, and everyone fighting for justice. Until next time, keep fighting, keep dreaming, keep shining. This is the flame that shook the court. And we're just getting started.